Name of the point of order, the Honourable Cherry Brown.
Just relating to that, with that regard to that ruling, certainly matters of a personal explanation dealt with respect by the House and considered that way. And Mr. Speaker, if there is a quote of something that someone has said, does a personal explanation mean that that quote can never be used in the House again? Because it surely is the issue of interpretation that the member is concerned about. But the words in a quote, at some point, had some meaning.
The dilemma, I don't think we should take more time on this matter right now. The dilemma we have with quotations, of course, is sometimes they can be wrong, even though because they're reported quotations, and unless it's in the Hansard, of course. If a member's quoting Hansard, then that cannot be disputed. But if it's the quotation from a media outlet, of course, members often say they've been misquoted. But once a member has given his word or her word, and that word cannot be contested further, it has to be accepted by the House. And that doesn't mean, of course, that the subject matter can't be talked about, but where the member has made a personal explanation, we've got to accept what they've said, even if there is an apparent quotation that appears on the face of it to be contrary, because the member, in their personal explanation, presumably, has told this House that the quotation is incorrect, and that's what we have to accept. If the member hasn't said that in their personal explanation, then that's another matter again. But I don't know the particular personal explanation that was put to the House without checking back on the record, so I can't really assist further. But we do have to accept the word of members where they make a personal explanation to the House. If they're proved to have actually misled the House, that is a very serious matter. The Honourable Cherry Brownlee speaking.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's pretty important we get this right. I want to state now that I know what the quote the member is concerned about is, and I give an undertaking that it won't be used in the House today. We've got plenty of other stuff as it happens, but we've got to be careful about this, because a personal explanation should not be be used to effectively withdraw something that has been said. That's not how it works, and previous speakers have dealt with this matter. Interestingly, in the ongoing battle that we saw a few years back between the Right Honourable Winston Peters and Keith Locke MP over some disputed interpretation of something that one of those two gentlemen had actually said. And I think, sir, if you undo it to a point where in fact the personal explanation can effectively mean that something that someone has said or a position they took is withdrawn from parliamentary debate, then that is quite a constraint upon the House. Where there is an allegation that comes out of an interpretation of what someone has said and a misrepresentation of motive, that is fine for the House to deal with by way of personal statement, but not to have outright the statement withdrawn from debate. And I think, sir, we don't need to take much more time on it now. I've given the undertaking that that particular comment won't be part of today's transcript, but it would be worth, I think, just having a look back at that previous case I cite, because it's a pretty important sort of position for the House to continue upholding, that a personal explanation is about an activity or a circumstance, not necessarily providing an opportunity for a member to withdraw a statement that's been made.
No, Order. I don't want to take more time in the House on this right now, because members are talking about something that I don't even know what the personal explanation is, and we don't want to take time on the House for that today. I just draw members' attention, though, to Speaker's rulings where there have been numerous Speaker's rulings about this issue. It's not a new issue. And one particularly relevant one is Speaker's ruling 132, or page 132, number 2, a member's denial of the accuracy of a statement attributed to the member by a newspaper must be accepted without question, but the House is not precluded from discussing in later debate what the member actually said, but that the member's denial that they've been quoted correctly must be accepted. That doesn't mean to say the issue is no longer able to be talked about in the House at all. And I think that's where we need to leave the matter for today, because we've got no further concrete information on which for me to base any ruling.
Point of order, sir.
Matiru Ture, point of order.
In light of, it's difficult now to know how to proceed. I'm not clear as to the position now on whether or not my use of a personal explanation to dispute an allegation, which is what it was, is now considered to be a protected statement, if you like, in some form by you, that it can't be used, that allegation can no longer be used in this House. Is that currently the state of your ruling?
Speaking the point of order for the
Mr. Speaker, if someone
Brown.
goes out and makes a statement about some particular issue, and then someone comes into the House and uses that quote in debate, then it becomes part of the debate. And the interpretation of what was meant is a debatable matter. The fact that someone has gone out and taken a position cannot be withdrawn by way of a personal statement. If, however, a member is alleging that someone did something, as has been the case recently, where the Green Party have made allegations against a member, that member has every right to put right or to correct the interpretation being put on it, because the material facts won't support it. But where someone goes out and makes a statement, for the member to be able to use the personal explanation process to effectively withdraw that from debate is quite wrong.
Order. We're not going to spend any more time on this. I suggest members do look at the Speaker's rulings on page 132. That will give the member guidance how this matter is handled in this House. And if a member has been misquoted by way of personal explanation, the member can correct that, and the House must accept that correction. But I suggest members do look at the Speaker's rulings on this particular issue, well established, and we don't need to take further time on that matter today. Question number 1 stands in the name of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.